Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Tom and welcome back to a brand new video and a brand new episode of the Mick Schumacher career mode here for the circuit of the Americas and the United States Grand Prix. And first of all, a little bit of an apology, and you might have noticed there's no Japanese Grand Prix, and hence the reason being is because I recorded the race but I accidentally deleted the wrong file, because basically I'm trying to pre-record in advance because I'm going to Silverstone for like an entire week basically next week. So I'm trying to pre-record, but I'm running out of space on my hard drive to fit all the files on, so I had to delete some stuff from somewhere. So I was just trying to delete some old videos that I had, and I accidentally deleted the wrong file, and I tried every way possible of trying to recover the file, hence why there's been a few less uploads in these last few days, and I still wasn't able to recover it. So I've just decided to give up, and I'm going to have to cut out that episode. I mean, I've already missed 2 episodes this season already, so missing one more shouldn't do too much damage. But either way, we're here for Kota, and straight away in practice, make sure I get down to the nitty gritty, and a couple of issues off the back of practice. You can see right now it's raining midway through the tyre test, which meant he sort of got the green, the 30 points, but he never got the 50 because it started raining throughout the practice, and that sort of upset the rhythm a little bit, and then eventually he'd also get purple in the qualifying test. But overall, practice was promising, but the qualifying is where it's all going to be played out. So jumping into qualifying on Saturday here at Kota, and hopefully we can try and have some good pace. Mick's feeling fairly confident with his Mana car around here, and the car's working pretty nice, especially in that first sector, which is not a sector you'd expect this car to perform well, but it actually is pretty well performed. It's the final sector where the Mana is particularly weak and vulnerable, and they actually went for 2 parts of the cherry in Q1. He sent an initial lap time, which eventually got down to P18 on the soft tyre, and he had to go out again on the same set of tyres, got a little bit of an improved lap time up into P15, and that would actually get him through just in P15, and that would hopefully just get him through comfortably into Q2 there. But a little bit of a hiccup there in Q1 compared to other qualifying sessions, but then in Q2, moving on to the super soft tyre, this was a much more straightforward session, and eventually come across the line on his 1-9 lap and get P5 quite comfortably, with Lewis Hamilton just behind the fastest lap and taking first place in that session, and a very comfortable Q2 session. They're getting into Q3 fairly comfortably, and crucially Pascal Wehrlein not getting through there into Q3 for the first time in a little while. But we're going to run aboard now for the entirety of the Q3 lap here, on board with the German drivers. We go up into turn 1, picking up the 100 meter board, slowing it down to second gear, picking up your apex in second gear, then squirting on the throttle, making sure the back end doesn't step out on you as we now go flat out through the turn 2 kink here, and then prepare yourselves for the S's of turns 3, 4, 5 and 6. As you can see, they're good speed into this next section, now going through the swooping right hander of turn 6 with a sort of a double apex, and then that feeds into turn 7 or 8 depending on what you want to call it. Now up the hill into turns 9 and 10, sort of like a little uphill chicane, off camber slightly on the first part, and then getting downhill through the kink of turn 11 there, flat out through this section, using as much of the track as possible, slowing it down for the hairpin of turn 12, second gear corner, missing the apex slightly there, just not getting the car down for the apex, not slowing it down enough, a little bit of a lock up on the tyres as well. But now you prepare yourselves for the massive run down this back straight. DRS wide open, and it's just a long run into the hairpin of turn 13, which is the next braking point. 100 meter board on the right hand side, second gear, pick up the apex, take it nice and easy in, try and get the power out, which is crucial. Slow and fast out approach for this corner, and now you go into the very tricky final sector, double apex right hander here, which feeds into a double apex left hander. Very tricky section here. This one, there's a million different lines you can take through here. Mick opting to take it fairly short and narrow on the apex, then getting on the power through the triple right hander, basically the inverted opposite of Turkey's turn 8 now through this section, and almost flat out through there. Good speeds for that section, then a couple of downshifts into the penultimate corner, missing the apex slightly, which is going to upset the lap time a little bit as we now go into the final corner, third gear corner, my personal preference, and Mick seems to agree with me as you get on the power across the line, DRS wide open, and the lap is going to be good enough for P8 on the grid, I believe. And there you go, a bit of a disappointing lap time. The pace was a little bit better than that, but the little mistake into the hairpin and also the mistake into the penultimate corner cost him just a little bit of time there, and that's going to relegate him to P8 for the start grid of the American Grand Prix here, and hopefully he can try and convert P8 into a better result in the race. But either way, last time out in Japan, taking the race win, which you guys didn't see, hopefully he can try and convert P8 into a good result once again. So without further ado, let's jump into the race. So moving into Sunday, and like I said, taking the race win last time out in Japan, and great form so far this season from Mick Schumacher, and he scored points pretty much in every race. I think there might have been an odd DNF here or there, but he's scored points in every single race, so that's an incredible record in this manor car, which is now a top 5 contender. And there'll be some upgrades coming on the car, I believe, in Mexico for the race after that in Brazil, if I'm not mistaken. But here we go then. We're going to gear up for the 5 lights here at COTA, and it's going to be lights out and away we go for round 18 of the season. Good start here from the German driver, now going up the hill into the first corner. It's crucial to try and pick out a braking point and also a gap in between all the cars. Nice bit of space on the inside of the circuit. Meanwhile, Hamilton and the Ferrari getting caught up on the outside of the track there. So Hamilton, championship leader, getting caught up in some sort of accident in the first corner, but luckily I think he kept on going. So luckily he's kept his car pointing in the right direction. But now going through the S's for the first time in this race, trying to filter through. You can see his beautiful panning shot. Hamilton has dropped through the field a little bit, so the championship leader losing a bit of time in that initial start phase, which is not going to help him whatsoever. But now moving midway onto lap number 2, and as you can see, Raikkonen's actually lining up a move on Ricciardo. He's actually going to go for the move on the brakes, possibly on the honey badger. Does he pull it off? Just about. It's still side by side, but he just gets it on the exit, which then Ricciardo trips up and causes a bit of contact with Mick Schumacher there, just tapping the front wing. Luckily no damage calls there, but right now Mick's all over the back of these two, and the pace is pretty good. Ricciardo obviously on the soft tyre, so alternating and differing strategies there from both of these guys. Raikkonen also on the super soft, so this goes to show the sort of different strategies you can have around this circuit. But as you can see now, onto the next lap, Raikkonen's starting to get a gap out to Ricciardo. DRS is now enabled, and Ricciardo's had a pretty poor exit out the hairpin, which is going to get Mick to be right on the back of him. DRS wide open now, and let's see the straight line speed off the manor car down this back track. As you can see now, good momentum, catch up to Ricciardo. Ricciardo brake checks a little bit early, which forces Mick to duck out of it, and actually accidentally goes up the inside of Kimi Raikkonen and almost makes the move stick, but Raikkonen just holds it there with the traction out the corner. But Ricciardo's going for a little bit of a brake check manoeuvre there, and that caught Mick out, and he had to basically weave to the inside aggressively as a measure of defence and trying to avoid an accident, and just by pure coincidence went up the inside of 2 cars. So there you go, Mick making it work in every form possible here at COTA. But as you can see, moving now midway onto lap 4 now, skipping onto the next lap. DRS wide open once again, and you have to wonder, can Mick go for the dive on Kimi Raikkonen, who's a little bit far away? I've got to say, he's getting a little bit on him. He's going to try and pull to the inside. Can he get the move down on the brakes? He matches Raikkonen on the brakes, but he just locks up the left front a little bit, runs in a little bit deep, and that allows Raikkonen to get the switchback maneuver and pull off the move and re-hold or retake P3. So Nick there getting a little bit too hot into the hairpin of turn 13/14, so not a good move there from Mick, and Raikkonen's going to take that every day of the week. But right now the pace is looking fairly promising in the manor car. Mick's feeling fairly comfortable, and that's going to translate into the next lap now, lap 5, when he's still right behind Kimi Raikkonen. And this time he's a little bit closer than last lap, and he's going to open up the DRS, and this time there should be a far more comprehensible and simple move now. So he pulls to the inside, look at the straight line speed difference, he gets back in front of him, retakes the normal racing line, and then slows it down for second gear for the apex, and this time takes P2 comfortably ahead of the Iceman on lap 5. But we're now going to focus later on in the race, and the strategy that was recommended by the team was a 2-stop, but Manor felt that they could pull off a 1-stop strategy here. The team was recommended to go on a super soft medium strategy, but Mick felt pretty good on super soft tyres, and as you can see, there's Perez behind on softs making the strategy work also. But Mick was feeling confident, and on lap 9 he's going to come in for his one and only stop of the race, I believe, onto a set of medium tyres. So bit of a different strategy. The super softs are meant to go about until lap 6 or 7, but Mick's taking them all the way to lap 9, so it goes to show how you can make a strategy work. And as you can see in the pit lane now, the guys are getting to work, and Mick's going to go onto a set of white wall medium tyres for the next stint here, and hopefully he can take those to the end, because if he does, that's going to put him on a really good strategy here for this race, and hopefully he can catch Nico Rosberg, who's the man up front leading this race, and he's going to rejoin the track on PA, actually not too bad, so not losing too much time there. And another question is, how's this medium tyre stint going to pan out? Right now, as you can see, cutting all the way to lap 15, and Lewis has come in for his second stop of the race. He went on to like double super soft stints, and he came into his second stop of the race, and that's a bit of an interesting one, because that's a pretty late stop compared to the other guys, and a bit of a different strategy there from Lewis Hamilton, who's also trying to recover from that poor stop. But we move later on, just a couple of corners later, and we've got some sort of yellow flag behind, so something's happened behind the track, so we'll have to see what happened there. But either way, Ricciardo's the man of the move now, catching Mick Schumacher, so we have to keep an eye on that. But oh, we got a virtual safety car, so there you go. Never mind Ricciardo, we've got to have to focus now on what happened behind. Obviously that yellow flag must have triggered something, and could it have been Lewis Hamilton? He was in the pit lane like I mentioned, and he came in for his second stop of the race onto soft tyres, and he's exited the pit lane there, and so far all good. He come out ahead of that Ferrari car as he goes through turn 2, all looking relatively good for him so far. I wonder if he's had an engine blowout. I know he has. He's had a left front puncture. Wow, that's really unfortunate for Lewis Hamilton. He just came out of the pit lane 2 seconds ago on them tyres. He's had a puncture already. So Lewis will not be happy with that, and a freak accident or freak event, should I say, on the Pirelli tyre. But Lewis Hamilton with a front left puncture now on that brand new set of soft tyres. That's going to really set him back on the strategy for this race. So we're going to come back now to lap 16, on to the end of that lap, when the virtual safety car is coming in now. It's going to end, and as you can see now, Ricciardo has actually stayed right on the back of Mick Schumacher here, and he's actually getting a little bit of time, oddly enough, and a little bit of a weird one there. But either way, that's going to set Ricciardo now onto the back of the Manor driver on this lap. And as you can see, Ricciardo is just constantly there in the mirrors and also on the indicator. Mick gets all out of shape down the hill on lap 17, which is going to put Ricciardo really on his monkey seat as we go into the hairpin now. And a little bit of a lock up on the left front is going to allow Ricciardo to slide up the inside and get side by side with Mick Schumacher here onto the back straight. But luckily, look at the straight line speed of the Manor car. Ricciardo has to dip back in for another helping of slipstream, and now he's got DRS wide open to help him. And this time they're going to go side by side. But look at the speed of the Manor car matching the Red Bull onto the 100-meter board, and Ricciardo just edges him out on the brakes. But Mick's going to slice back underneath him. Can he pull off the switchback maneuver? Not quite. Ricciardo just holds it beautifully there, and Mick thinks better of it for now and decides to stay behind the Honey Badger as we now go into the double apex left-hander. Maybe here, yes he does. Mick just goes for the dive up the inside on the Australian driver, side by side on the exit of the corner. But Mick picks up a little bit of better traction and just goes around the outside of Ricciardo and pulls it off into the triple apex right-hander, making the move stick and retaking the position on the medium tyres there. So good defensive driving there from the rookie, but right now he's still in P2 as we move on to lap 19, and Ricciardo, you know, he's coming to the pit lane, so now Perez is the man behind who's chasing Mick Schumacher, and so far the pace on the mediums has been very good. With only 8 laps to go, we could make this one-stop strategy work. Mick feels really comfortable in this tyre, and he's giving good feedback back to the team, and only a couple of tenths apart each lap in terms of his personal best, so things are looking good. As now on lap 25, Danny Kvyat is out of the race as Raikkonen now on the soft tyre is right behind Mick Schumacher as we go into the hairpin. But once again, a safety car has interrupted a possible overtake, so Kvyat is out of the American Grand Prix. We have to look to see what happened to the Jaguar driver, and as you can see, going through the double apex left-hander now. We have to see what happens. I'm going to presume it's going to be maybe some sort of engine failing. There you go, the Jaguar power unit just lets go, and that's the end of his race. So Kvyat will not be happy with that one, and that is him out of the race now. Second retirement in this race has triggered a virtual or a real safety car, so very unfortunate one for Lewis and also Kvyat. Obviously Lewis not actually retiring from the race but having that issue, but either way, focusing back onto the action. As you can see, the safety car's coming in this lap. It's only been out for 1 lap, so a bit of a strange one here, but I'm going at full speed. Like, Mick is going flat out through the circuit, so a very odd one here, and that's allowed Kimi to stay right on the back of the manager, not get even closer, because there's a bit of almost like a 1.5 second gap before the safety car was called out. But now Raikkonen is within a second, so a very strange one that the safety car only being out for 1 lap. But either way, on lap 27 now, Kimi Raikkonen is putting Mick Schumacher under some severe pressure into the hairpin, and oh, he spun him round. He spun him round into the hairpin. Kimi's just gone for a dive, and he's just done that out of nowhere. I don't know why he's done that, but that's put Mick now back down to P5 with 1.5 laps to go in this race, and luckily it's damage limitation, but Mick's lost a couple of positions there and a possible podium in this race. So let's try and catch a replay of what happened there. As you see, into the hairpin, it's all fine, and then Raikkonen just sort of slow spins Mick out. I don't know what he's done there, but he just sort of slowly spanning him out. So a very weird incident there from Kimi Raikkonen. Let's look at a replay from on board here and see what happens as we go into the hairpin. Mick's taking the line just about picking up the apex, and then Raikkonen just sort of pushes him out. So one of the FIA will look into that, maybe give him a penalty, because I mean that's a bit of a debatable incident. That's going to pretty much relegate Mick to finishing in P5 this race. As you can see now, Rosberg wins the race in dominant fashion, and it's going to be the final corner now for the final lap here at Koto, where Mick's going to come across the line and end the race in P5. So making the one-stop strategy work to perfection. You could have argued he might have had a podium this race, but either way, P5 is still brilliant considering he started from P8 on the grid, and that's a very good result for him in the American Grand Prix, the United States Grand Prix, should I say. And as you see now, official confirmation as Rosberg wins the race with Kimi taking second place, but I wonder if there might be maybe some post-race action, maybe some post-race penalties, but either way, Sergio Perez takes a brilliant third place with Force India there on the podium, with Daniel Ricciardo in P4 for Red Bull Racing, then Mick finishing in P5 ahead of Max Verstappen, and then Sebastian Vettel in P7 ahead of Stoffel Van Dorn in P8 there, getting good points from McLaren, with Pascal Wehrlein also getting points in P9 there, starting from P15 on the grid, and Esteban Gutierrez rounding out the top 10, with Lewis Hamilton not finishing in the points. So a big change there in the driver standings, as now Mick is right behind Nico Rosberg, and crucially the pair of them gained a lot of points on Lewis Hamilton, but you have to wonder, I think it's a little bit too late now for a title charge, as Lewis has pretty much got his wrapped up with only 2 or 3 more races left to go after this, with Mexico, Brazil and Abu Dhabi as the next 3 races. So I think as long as Lewis wins the next races, he's got his wrapped up for the Drivers' Championship, so I think it's going to be out the question for now. But looking at the constructors right now, you see that Force India have jumped Williams for P5, so right now you have to wonder, have Manor pretty much secured P4 thanks to obviously Mick's efforts and also Pascal getting a few points here and there. So Manor, if they finish in P4, that'd be a brilliant result for them this season, and it's much needed funding for next season, because the rumours are circulating that they are really struggling for funds right now. They may not be on the 2017 grid because they're really struggling right now to get any sort of funds for next season. But either way, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, then a thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you can subscribe to my channel for future content like this and also other F1 and MotoGP content, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But other than that, guys, I thank you so much for watching. If you did miss any of the videos on the screen right now, then I do urge you to go click them if you haven't done so already, to get you up to speed on this series and other series on my channel. But thank you so much for watching, guys, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video very soon. So from me, goodbye.